Hi, it's me again. I'm gonna take off where I left off on the first video on my believing that Casey was molested. Um, there are several reasons why I believe that she was molested, in which, of course, the one is of her actions. I didn't see them as being of a guilty person, but more of a person that, just lied as she went along because she had to. As a child, Casey could not get help for what was happening to her. And so she had to keep quiet. I mean, this is her father. And not only is he a father, this is a police officer. And people don't know what it's like being molested until it has happened to them. They cannot sit here and say how she is supposed to act or how many times she could have told somebody. I believe she tried to get help, but she told Jesse Grind. He didn't want to hear it. She told Tony Lazaro. He didn't want to hear it. They thought it was disgusting. The outcome of her telling somebody, a girl, may be different. But guys don't know what to say in circumstances like this. There was a girl that had called in on the Nancy Grace show and said that she was in group and that no, her nor anyone else in her group would behave the way Casey behaved. Well, if you're watching this, I just want to say, first of all, your being in group says a lot. You're getting help. Casey was never in group, and as far as I know, she was never in therapy. As a child, she couldn't get the help she needed. And as an adult, she didn't have the money. So she didn't, there's so many people that do get help, and that's good. But when you don't get help, what are you to do? You're stuck. You're stuck with every ounce of pain that you carried for however many years it happened to you. You can't talk to your parents. You're ashamed to tell your friends. So who can you tell? I myself have not been molested, but I know someone that was. I did nothing. I did nothing to help her. And do I regret that? Well, I I regret it. I wish things would be different, but they weren't different. And I was not in a position to help her. Worse, I was made to watch. And it's the most disgusting thing that any person, any child can go through. She had to go to school and pretend nothing ever happened to her. She had to look at her mom and wish her mom could do something, but couldn't because her mom didn't know. And this would reoccur every chance he got. She grew up to be a pathological liar herself. But they don't plan their lies. They're, at the moment, lies. But they're all based on things that really happened. People they really know, as is with Casey. How, when you're 9 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, how can you look at one of your friends and say, my dad did this to me? How do you know that others in your class haven't been molested? You don't. Because there's no look, no way you're to act for you to know if anyone else has been molested. And then when people do come forward with it, then they are called a liar. Casey finally had no choice but to tell the truth. People, what, was they jealous of her? I mean, Nancy Grace quite often said, oh, that push-up bra. What did that have to do with anything? This was a girl that lost her daughter. You may not like her, but you were not in her shoes. She didn't put on a show for you. She told the truth. And someone listened. Jose Baez, he listened to her. And although he did not prove molestation, he did put it out there. And let the jurors decide what they thought about it. She wasn't on trial to prove molestation. But everything that was said in her defense was twisted. Her mother's lies. Why did Cindy lie? Casey didn't ask her to lie. Did she lie hoping that everyone would think just as Nancy Grace and everyone else thought she lied for Casey? She didn't lie for Casey. She lied hoping that that's what people would think. I mean, you protect your kids. I mean, they're your life, and you should do whatever it takes to protect them, not humiliate them, as Cindy did with Casey many times over. Everyone wonders, why did Casey steal? Why didn't they do anything? Well, let me tell you. She probably knew that they don't want to do this to me because I'll speak up and tell the truth. Wrong, true. But Cindy humiliated Casey in front of Jesse Grund. That's not what a mother's supposed to do to her daughter. She's supposed to help her. Was she jealous? Did she blame Casey for what her husband did? I don't know. But I do know and believe that she was truly molested. I do not believe she murdered her daughter. I will be back with part 3.